of 31 below. Nightingale is your cozy, comfortable neighborhood bar and restaurant at 26th and Lyndale in Minneapolis. Come in for the famous Nightingale burger or the ginger tamari chicken wings. View their menu or place a takeout order at nightingalempls.com.
Portions of the following program may be pre-recorded. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Living Healthy and Aging Well. My name is Ken Haglind, and we are broadcasting from the AM 950 radio station that overlooks Bryant Lake Regional Park, located in Eden Prairie, Minnesota. It's another great day here in the Twin Cities, and I am grateful to be here with you today, and I hope all of you listening are doing well. We are on the air every Saturday from noon to 1 to talk about your health and your life. We cover a wide range of topics to help you and your loved ones improve and enjoy your quality of life. We have another great show for you today. Joining me in a few minutes will be Harvey Perle, principal of Perle and Company, a St. Paul, Minnesota-based insurance broker. And Harvey is licensed agent in life, health insurance for all ages, accident and travel insurance in the state of Minnesota. Harvey's also certified in 10 brands of Medicare carriers. Today, Harvey will be talking about the Medicare Advantage Part C open enrollment period that ends March 31st. This is an important opportunity for those already enrolled in a Medicare Advantage Part C plan to reassess their healthcare needs and make adjustments. Whether it is switching to a different Medicare Advantage plan or returning to original Medicare, this period ensures that beneficiaries can make changes if their current plan no longer meets their healthcare needs. Now, having a trusted expert like Harvey Perle who can advocate for you is essential to make certain that your doctors and medications are obtained from in-network providers to help keep your expenses as low as possible. You will enjoy listening to my conversation today with Harvey Perle. I want to thank all of you that leave messages on our radio show phone line. We appreciate so much hearing from you, and we welcome your comments, questions, and topics for future shows. Also, if you are interested in being a guest on our radio show, please call or text us at 612-999-3426. Now, you can also contact us on our website at livinghealthyradio.com. There you can find information about upcoming guests as well as listen to our previous shows. And we look forward to hearing from you. We're adding new listeners to the show each week, not only here in the Twin Cities of Minnesota, but also throughout the country. You can find podcasts for all of our shows on the AM 950 radio website. And we can also be found on iTunes, Spotify, and many other podcast and streaming services. You can also watch our broadcast live on the radio station's Facebook page at AM 950 Radio. If you do have a question for us today, there are two ways to reach us. First, by calling the AM 950 radio station, and our he's a super friendly show engineer, Patrick, will get your call on the air. Our phone number is 952-946-6205. Once again, 952-946-6205, or you can directly text us your question at 612-999-3426. Now, don't worry if you missed our contact numbers. I'll repeat them throughout the show. All right. I want to welcome my friend and guest for today's show, Harvey Perle, principal of Perle and Company, a St. Paul, Minnesota-based broker. And welcome to the show today, Harvey.
Good to see you, Ken.
Boy, I am
again.
I know. we just had some shows here about the Medicare,
the annual enrollment period. And now it's open enrollment season.
Open enrollment.
Yes.
Annual enrollment.
Yes.
But it's really important because, as we were talking off the air, it's a very important time for people to look at their situation.
Right. And all these periods have similar names and they have very different definitions.
Right. And I know your goal always on the show to try to decomplex these amazing benefits that people have.
Right.
And we're going to try to do that today. But for those new listeners or those people that don't know you yet, maybe give us a little bit about your background that would help us feel comfortable. That we're getting.
Okay, well, a good place to start.
Expert advice.
Familiar space is always a good place to start. Well, I'm a former nursing home administrator, so that gives me kind of a unique perspective on a lot of this need that we have in the world of gerontology. But I am licensed in now 5 states. It's based in Minnesota, and now we are also licensed in Arizona, Colorado, Georgia, and now Maryland. And there was a reason why those particular states yet to be discussed at another time, but we're finding more and more people finding us and needing the guidance. And a lot of this is all based on education. And that's always been our style. That's the culture of my agency. That's what our team does. And it's from education that people become smart and make good decisions. And we want smart customers who make good decisions. And that's how we shepherd you through the process. So how's that for a 30-second overview?
Perfect. That's a nice elevator pitch there. And I can say that I've known you for so many years now. And I know you're so consistent about you want to educate your clients, your neighbors, your friends, everybody, so they make the right decision. This is a complicated area, and it's so interesting. Even before the show started, you and I are talking, and you're educating me and re-educating me on the differences between the plans. I know we're going to talk about that.
And there's new rules that just went into effect January 1.
Right. You know, as you mentioned, the Inflation Reduction Act makes a huge impact, and it causes people to have to really think again, what's the best for them?
Right.
So let's jump into it, because I know the time goes by so fast when we're talking about these important benefits that people have, and they worked for their entire life to have these benefits. So it makes sense to get the right benefit.
Right. And so one of the important things is Medicare is not a one and done. So when you make your choices, many people think, okay, I'm done. I've made my choice for Medicare. I'm set for life. That's not the case. Medicare needs an annual review. So if you've not done your annual review during the fall, you get the annual do-over. And that's what the open enrollment period is all about between January 1 and March 31. But let's review for a moment. What is Medicare Advantage? What is Part C? And for those of you who have it, you'll recognize these features. They're low-cost premium plans that function like health insurance, like you've known for decades. It works exactly the same. You pay for each service. Every time you see the doctor, every time you have maybe an X-ray or an MRI, CT scan, time in the hospital, you're paying co-pays along the way. We refer to it as the toll booth lane. On the highway, you drive a little bit, you stop and pay a toll. Drive a little bit more, pay another toll. Same way, you're making co-pays along the way for every service that you tap into. And so they accumulate to a maximum out of pocket. And then if you reach that amount, then the plan pays 100% for the remaining part of that calendar year. And then January 1, we start all over again at zero. And so this is very familiar space. And that's why you see a lot of the TV ads, because it is something that most people can identify with, as confusing as it sounds. Once we point it out that way, it's like, oh, yeah, that's what I've done. Sure. And if you travel, there are nationwide networks as much as there are local networks, and you're encouraged to stay within your network to keep your co-pays minimized. So if you're traveling across the nation, you just need to know in advance, wherever you're going, who's the dermatologist I should see and which is the one I should avoid if I have a rash, or which hospital can I go to, or which specialist in my area if you're going for a few days or a few months. But there are some new issues that have now encroached upon us as of 2025, and new doctor networks. A doctor that was in last year may not be in network this year, or a prescription that was in network last year may not be in network this year. And we just got a call this week from a client who just got prescribed a new medication in January, and it's not in her network, her Medicare Advantage network that it was in previously. So it was the panic call of, what do I do now? Which we're thrilled. We welcome panic calls, right? Because we're the helpline. We're here to help you down from the shelf so you don't jump off of it. So we will meet with her this week. We will sit down, we'll explore where the options are and find a network where that new medication is in network. And during this first quarter of every year, you can move from one Medicare Advantage plan to another. We call it the annual do-over. You get one mother, may I? So it's an opportunity to fix the problem before it becomes a problem and before it becomes a costly problem for you. This is more common than you realize. And
I'm sure.
And I was sharing with you, I was chatting with someone this morning about how we fear the unknown, so we stick our heads in the sand. So I'm calling this the ostrich syndrome. We want to avoid the ostrich syndrome. It's not going to go away, folks. It's okay. We can face this. And we remind people there are no dumb questions. There are no silly questions. And we welcome repeated questions, especially the ones that are prefaced with, I don't understand. Let that be our burden to help explain it in different ways, because that's how we learn better ways to teach. And so it's really quite critical that people speak up. Minnesota Nice does not apply here. I remind people regularly, do not nod your head yes when you really mean, no, I don't understand you. And so we want people to give us a call at 651-303-8889. We only have humans who answer our phones. We do not have voicemail. So you get to speak with real people, and we're here to help and guide and ease your stomach acids.
You and your team call back right away too, generally. I mean, that's, yeah.
Try to be responsive.
Yes. It's time for a short break, folks. We'll be right back to continue our conversation with Harvey Perle, principal of Perle and Company, a St. Paul, Minnesota-based insurance broker. If you have a question for us, please give us a call, 952-946-6205, or you can text us your questions at 612-999-3426. I'm Ken Haglind, and you are listening to Living Healthy and Aging Well.
It's no secret that medical care costs are soaring, with nursing home and skilled nursing care costs being some of the highest. You don't have to deplete your savings in order to receive long-term care. At Schroman Law, we work with families to develop and implement strategic planning for medical assistance for long-term care, for assisted living, nursing home care, or home-based care. Contact us today to schedule a free consultation at schromenlaw.com. That's SCHROMEN law.com.
Hi, this is Paul Metza, host of the Wall of Power Radio Hour. We have been on the air on AM 950 for 10 years. We feature cool people from all walks of life in all 50 states. We've had musicians, politicians, actors, poets, people with great stories or a tale to tell. Tune in every Saturday night at 6 p.m. on AM 950, and podcasts are available on all streaming services.
Hey, AM 950, this is JP Darbagosian inviting you to the new expanded version of The Gailey Show. Join us Monday through Saturday from 2 to 3 p.m. We'll be talking with politicians, journalists, health providers, actors, musicians, authors, and more. We are a fact-based progressive news analysis program that is tailor-made for the queer and ally communities. So tune in at 2 p.m. or stream us live on our YouTube channel. For all of the updates, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, or Blue Sky. Just search for The Gailey Show.
Tune in for Philosophy Talk, the program that questions everything.
Accept your intelligence.
Coming up, the life and thought of Elizabeth Anscombe.
Anscombe helped us understand intention, morality, and philosophy of mind.
She was a complicated figure. She argued against the use of birth control.
But she also argued against the atomic bomb.
Well, I guess 1 out of 2 ain't bad.
Elizabeth Anscombe, next time on Philosophy Talk.
Catch Philosophy Talk every Sunday morning at 8 on AM 950, the progressive voice of Minnesota.
I love the Toyota Sienna Hybrid from Rudy Luther Toyota. Safe, roomy, comfortable, and insanely fuel efficient. One thing I haven't mentioned is how good the Sienna is at winter driving. We just had a snowstorm, and my Sienna handled the ice and snow no problem. From getting through the plow pile at the end of the driveway to safely navigating the snow-covered highways, the Sienna is designed to give you a comfortable, safe drive. When winter weather hits, I give myself extra time, but with Sienna's handling and heated seats, extra time is great. Test drive a Sienna today at Rudy Luther Toyota, 394 and 169 in Golden Valley.
Start the new year with nonstop laughs at Brave New Workshop's Big Christmas Energy. This holiday tradition, now running through January, is packed with sketches and songs to keep the laughs going. Enjoy new sketches and perennial favorites, including their unforgettable take on the 12 Days of Christmas. Whether you're recovering from awkward holiday conversations or just looking for a good time, Big Christmas Energy will leave you smiling. Catch Big Christmas Energy Thursdays through Saturdays in January at Brave New Workshop in Minneapolis. Get tickets at bravenewworkshop.org.
Welcome back, everyone. You are listening to Living Healthy and Aging Well, where we talk about helping you and your loved ones improve and enjoy your quality of life. My name is Ken Haglind, and joining me today is Harvey Perle, principal of Perle and Company, a St. Paul, Minnesota-based insurance broker. And today, Harvey is talking about the Medicare Advantage Part C open enrollment period that ends March 31st. This is an important opportunity for those already enrolled in a Medicare Advantage Part C plan to reassess their healthcare needs and make appropriate adjustments. Whether it's switching to a different Medicare Advantage plan or returning to original Medicare, this open enrollment period ensures that beneficiaries can make changes if their current plan no longer meets their healthcare needs. If you have a question for us, please give us a call, 952-946-6205, or text us at 612-999-3426. Now, Harvey, how can our listeners contact you and your organization if they have questions or want more information?
Thank you for asking. 651-303-8889. And as I mentioned before, we take pride in the fact that we don't have voicemail. And our clients consistently appreciate that greatly because we want everyone to feel heard.
Yeah.
We want to, this is not press 3 so we can ignore you. We specialize in not ignoring people.
Boy, and in this day and age, though, that's really important. I mean, I'm with you. I mean, our organization, you have a live person, a registered nurse, somebody always answering the phone 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So anyway, I get it. It's great, especially as you were talking to me off the air. January can create surprises for people, and maybe we'll have time to talk about examples of that. But it's important that people know these times of the year. This is where they have freedom,
right,
to choose.
They get this backup opportunity to correct a mistake that they may not even realize that they made. And that's what's really wonderful about this particular season. This is one of many special enrollment periods that Medicare creates and allows us to make these changes because human stuff happens. And so, it really is very smart that Medicare has provided these avenues and these options for us. And so we do whatever we can to customize the issue. And what we're going to throw at you today, folks, is way too much information than you can digest. And we recognize this. So if one idea strikes you, then that we've accomplished is an absolute win. But we know you're not going to get all of this information and absorb it, and nor should you be expected to. And that's why we're encouraging people, call us. It's okay. There are no stupid questions. They're all great questions. And you're not the only person in the world that does not understand Medicare. Welcome to the big pool of people that do not understand Medicare. You're in the majority. And so you're in a good place. Yeah. And everything that you share with us about your medical history is confidential.
Right. It's a safe place.
It's a very safe place. Absolutely. And we learn a lot from each other, to be quite frank. We learn more from our clients sometimes. and it really is kind of fun because it enables us to grow and hopefully be better at what we do.
Yes, fantastic. Well, let's talk about what is open enrollment period and the fact that it's different than the annual enrollment period.
Right. So we've reviewed what Part C Medicare Advantage is.
Right.
This is open enrollment period, January 1 through March 31, and that guillotine comes down. and it's firm. So if you need to make a change and you don't make a change within this first quarter, you're in and committed for the rest of the year. Now, there are other special enrollment periods for other exceptions. We're not going to go into those now because there's too many of them. But for simplicity, whatever decision you are in as of March 31, you're in for the rest of this calendar year. And so the options that are available to you is that you can move from one Medicare Advantage plan to another, of which there are lots to choose from. You can move from Medicare Advantage to Original Medicare. So that enables you to back up to what Medicare was originally designed in 1965 was the simplistic A and B with no accessories. So you are responsible for the Part A deductible, which this year is like $1,675 for only a 60-day period. But that would mean if you go to the hospital, that's all out of your pocket at one time. Well, that's a cash flow issue for many people. In Part B, medical insurance, Medicare only pays for 80% of the bill. You're responsible for 20%. Well, 20% of a high number could be a high number.
That's a high number, yeah.
Right. Well, again, cash flow comes right out of your pocket. So that's where Medicare Advantage and Medigap Medicare supplement plans address these big gaps of cash flow needs to make them digestible. And so that's why most people go into either a Medicare Advantage or Medicare supplement plan, because it manages cash flow much better than Original Medicare. But you can leave Medicare Advantage, go to Original Medicare, take a break, if you will, and then maybe go into another Medicare Advantage plan next year. It depends on your situation.
Right.
Or for Medicare supplement, Medigap plans, you can go through medical underwriting and see if you qualify for that plan. And if so, then we can enroll you into that plan. But that has its own stages and steps. But we provide you this opportunity to take a backwards step to walk into another door, walk through another door, rather, not into another door. So that's the creativity of what open enrollment period offers. And so the neat thing about Medicare, or a neat thing about Medicare Advantage, is it doesn't require medical underwriting. You don't have to go through an exam. You're always accepted, no matter what your medical history is. If you think about it in terms of Obamacare, the ACA, pre-Medicare, there are no pre-existing conditions that can be held against us. In Medicare, it's all about pre-existing conditions because we're older and we need new hips and knees and parts and stuff. So Medicare Advantage has an open window, accepts everybody with whatever their histories are. Medicare supplement plans, those are a little bit more pickier, and you can be rejected from those plans. So it's always good that we have a Medicare Advantage option to always fall back upon. And so how do you make these changes? I don't want to overplug it, but the best way to start the conversation is to start the conversation. Call us.
Yes.
Yes, you can send us an email. Yes, we have a website, perleandcompany.com, and that's P as in Peter, ERLEAND, company, all spelled out.com, which is another way to get a hold of us. But we like to talk to people. So let's not be afraid. Call us, 651-303-8889. And our team, Raphael, Jennifer, Eric, and I are ready to help. We provide, we're trained in this. So we want to assist you in your plan changes if they are necessary.
Yes.
And if you don't need to change, we'll tell you, do not change.
Right.
This is not about us. It's all about you.
Well, exactly. It's time for a short break, folks. We'll be right back to continue our conversation with Harvey Perle, principal of Perle and Company, a St. Paul, Minnesota-based insurance broker. If you have a question for us, please give us a call, 952-946-6205, or text us at 612-999-3426. I'm Ken Haglind, and you are listening to Living Healthy and Aging Well.
Peace of mind shouldn't cost a fortune. We keep things simple at Schroman Law because we believe planning for your estate and end-of-life care shouldn't be stressful or expensive. Every client relationship starts with a free consultation, so clients have the information they need before making important decisions. From there, we work closely with clients to ensure they are choosing the most efficient and cost-effective plans for their specific needs. Schedule a free consultation today at schromenlaw.com. That's SCHROMEN law.com.
This is Chad, owner of AM 950 for Snap Construction again. Does your home feel colder than it should with the furnace constantly running? Or do certain rooms always feel colder than the rest of the house? Those are signs the attic in your home may need an insulation upgrade. Snap Construction can help by providing a free energy audit for your home's insulation. The average cost of getting new insulation can cost much less than a new furnace. Plus, Snap Construction is a BPI certified installer. That means if you use Snap for your next insulation project, you qualify for up to $650 in total rebates from your energy provider. After my free inspection, my insulation upgrade was completed within a few weeks and the rebate check was in the mail. Snap to it and reduce your heating bill this winter with Snap Construction. Call 612-333-SNAP. That's 612-333-SNAP for your free energy audit when you mention AM 950. Snap Construction, arguably the most well-reviewed exterior contractor and insulation company in the metro.
Whether you rent or own a home, we all likely have nightmare stories about home maintenance, or what I like to call home cringe moments. Join me, your host, Katie Shahan, for the Yarlow Home Cringe Show. See what home cringe-worthy stories we have for you each week as we talk with local home service pros. Learn best practices for winterizing your home or what to look for after a hailstorm. Listen to the Yarlow Home Cringe Show every Sunday at 2 p.m. or on your favorite podcast app.
Hi, I'm Corey Wisco, president of the Welshire. The Welshire excels as a memory care community in the Twin Cities, located in Bloomington, and we have a new location in Medina. But what makes Welshire so different is the people that we have working for us. Our team has been together for the past 25 years providing this type of care. We employ some of the most amazing nurses and LPNs that are in the building 24 hours a day. We also have an activity team that is over 40 people. And our scheduling begins at 9 o'clock in the morning for activities, and it goes to 7, 8 o'clock at night. And that's 7 days a week. You won't find that. That is why many of the families that come to Welshire are actually coming from another memory care facility. Not all memory care is created equally. And that's why I encourage you, if you've had issues and problems at other places, come see what makes us so special. Please visit thewelshiremn.com and book a tour.
With a look at your AM 950 weather, I'm Patrick Lilia. Sunshine today with a high of 8, wind chills of 14 below. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low of 12 below, wind chills of 31 below. Nightingale is your cozy, comfortable neighborhood bar and restaurant at 26th and Lyndale in Minneapolis. Come in for the famous Nightingale burger or the ginger tamari chicken wings. View their menu or place a takeout order at nightingalempls.com.
You're listening to AM 950, the progressive voice of Minnesota.
Saturday.
Welcome back, everyone.
Best
You are listening to Living Healthy and Aging Well, where we talk about helping you and your loved ones improve and enjoy your quality of life. My name is Ken Haglind, and joining me today is Harvey Perle, and we are talking about the Medicare Advantage Part C open enrollment period that ends March 31st. And this is an important opportunity for those already enrolled in a Medicare Advantage Part C plan to reassess their healthcare needs and make adjustments. Whether it's switching to a different Medicare Advantage plan or returning to original Medicare, this period ensures that beneficiaries can make changes if their current plan no longer meets their healthcare needs. And I'll tell you, having a trusted expert like Harvey Perle who can advocate for you is essential to make certain that doctors and medications are obtained from in-network providers to help, of course, keep your expenses as low as possible. I want to mention this radio show is brought to you in part each week by Minnesota Hospice. Minnesota Hospice is an independent, locally owned medical practice serving our Twin Cities communities with comprehensive end-of-life health care. The team at Minnesota Hospice provides patients and family members with award-winning end-of-life healthcare services. You may not be aware that hospice brings compassionate medical, social, emotional, and spiritual services to your home with typically no cost to you or your family. Please do not wait to learn how hospice care can benefit you and your loved ones. If you have any questions regarding end-of-life care or support, please contact the compassionate team of experts at Minnesota Hospice. They're available to answer your questions 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Their phone number is 952-898-1022, 952-898-1022, or visit them online at minnesotahospice.com. All right, let's return to our in-depth, fascinating conversation with Harvey Perle. If you have a question for us, give us a call, 952. I mean, this is a great chance, folks, to get in touch with an expert who does this for a living with some great people on his team. So give us a call, 952-946-6205, or text us at 612-999-3426. Harvey, how can our listeners contact you and your amazing team if they have questions or want more information?
Thank you for asking. 651-303-8889. You can call us on the weekend. You can call us at night.
That's true.
We have a backup receptionist who will answer the phone for us if we can't. So you can always reach us. We are always accessible.
So responsive. I tell you, I've called you at some strange, just because the show's on the weekends, and it's amazing how if I don't get a hold of you on the first call, you call me back right away.
How did we do this without cell phones before? It's amazing. It's
true,
amazing.
True, exactly. Yes. So we've talked a lot about what Medicare Advantage plans are and what open enrollment is. There's a lot of important aspects to that. But what are the do's and don'ts of open enrollment? So I think it's, as you said before, if anybody feels completely comfortable in understanding Medicare, that's an amazing person.
I want to meet you.
I do too. I do too. Because listen, I've been honored to have you as a guest on my show for years and several times a year in some cases. And I'll tell you, every time I talk to you, I learn something new about either the plans as they've existed or the changes that have been put in place because it's a new plan year.
Right.
So anyway, help us with the do's and don'ts.
I joke that I write a thank you note to the federal government every day, thanking them for making this as complicated as possible because it's given us a purpose in life.
True.
But the what can't you do's? Let's start there.
Yeah.
So if you have original Medicare, the stripped down basic, what Medicare started as, you cannot go to a Medicare Advantage plan during this quarter, during this open enrollment period. You cannot move from original Medicare to Medicare Advantage. That would be saved for later in the year. In the fall, we can have that discussion to plan for 2026. If you have a standalone Part D plan, and that tends to ride along with an original Medicare plan or a Medigap plan, you cannot change prescription drug plans. That would be done in the fall for 2026. You cannot use, so they're very strict on what you can use OEP, open enrollment period, for and what you can't. But OEP is only designed for those with Medicare Advantage Part C plans. You can make these changes once in this quarter, and that's it. So when you make a change, let's say you make a change in January, it would go into effect February 1. If you make a change in February, it goes into effect March 1. They always start at the first of the month.
I didn't know that. I thought it would go April 1st because it's after the enrollment period.
Right. No, it's month to month.
Oh, so it's within. Okay.
Right. But if you make that change in March, yes, it would go into effect April 1. Right. Okay. And so it's a one time only. Now here's the trick, guys. The TV commercials are manipulative as all get out. Stop listening to the TV commercials because I have thrown more things at my television set because they don't tell you the whole story. And that's what really bothers me. And I don't mind the ads. I think it's great to get the information out, but at least tell the whole story. So when they dangle we can save you a lot of money, and they always scream.
Isn't that something? Right?
Yes,
that's
yeah.
true.
You get dental, hearing, and vision. Okay, I can hear you. But, well, that's fine. But dental is not always a huge amount of dental coverage. It could be $500. It could be $2,500 worth of coverage. All the plans are not all the same. So they're dangling something in front of you, or they're calling you, which they probably really shouldn't be doing, but they're claiming they will save you a lot of money if you just jump into our Advantage plan. Okay, Well, what's the rest of the story? Are my doctors in network? Are my medications in network? And that person who calls you on the phone may sound genuine as genuine can be, and you will never speak to that person again. Because the next time you call back, you're going to have to start with your whole story all over again because you've got a whole new person, and you risk the chance that the answers are not going to be consistent and reliable, as opposed to when you work with a broker, perhaps our agency, we get to know you.
Right.
And we get to hear about your history and your family and the kids, and we want your kids to participate in these conversations. But we've got a relationship going on here. So when you ask us a question and something sounds really, really good, but we're able to say, yeah, but you've had cancer in the past. Does this really apply to your needs? And that's what helps, because when you work with somebody who gets to know you, we're really advocating for you. We're swinging the bat for you. And that's what you need in the world of Medicare, because it is so darn confusing. And so that's where we take this really personally. And we're very passionate about what we do, and we love what we do.
Yeah, that's
and we
obvious.
demonstrate it on a regular basis. One client told me yesterday, and I was so touched at this. She said, yeah, you work with a bunch of people, but whenever I'm talking with you, I feel like I am your only client. I was just really touched at that.
Yeah.
But I think it does demonstrate our importance of making sure that we get to know your details so that we're giving you as best advice as we can. So OEP, open enrollment period, applies to Medicare Advantage folks only. And any other changes you want to make, we have other options later on in the year. Again, your doctor may no longer be in network and you didn't realize it. Your prescriptions may no longer be in network. You didn't realize it, or you didn't do the review in the fall like we all claim everyone should be doing. If you missed that opportunity, this is your do-over. This is your opportunity.
That's good to make sure that people understand that. But you have to be a current Medicare Advantage enrollee,
right.
to have that sense of the do-over.
Right.
Yeah, got it.
And one of the other things that we remind people is, in the world of Medicare, rightfully so, you have to start the phone call. You have to initiate the communication, the email. You have to reach out to us, because we cannot be in a position of looking like we're chasing after you. And we actually have to document who struck who first and keep it in your file for 11 years in case we're audited. So we have to have written proof of who called first, because the whole idea is not to take advantage of people. We are here to protect the vulnerable. Yes, folks, you are vulnerable, and it's okay. You're not the only ones who are vulnerable. All of you are. All of us are.
Sure.
So one of the things that's really important, though, is that people don't realize this new Inflation Reduction Act that went into effect for Medicare on January 1 is huge, because medication costs now will cost no more than $2,000 out of your pocket for covered medications. And the covered part is really critical. If it's a non-covered medication, then this $2,000 rule doesn't apply. But what's great about this $2,000 rule is that we can split your payments up monthly. So again, cash flow. You get to spread it out over the year, interest-free, which is also very, very appealing. The government wants you to take your medications. Right. They don't want you to take it every other day. They want you to take it so that in the long run, it keeps healthcare costs down if you follow the prescription as it is prescribed. So the purpose of this Inflation Reduction Act, it's not a political thing. It's a practical thing. And it was really geniusly designed, I think. And so people don't realize that if your medication costs are approaching $2,000, you will be able to finance it out monthly, and you pay the Medicare Advantage plan or the prescription drug plan, so that when you go to the pharmacy, they don't charge you anything, because they're not the ones who are going to collect the money. Your plan is going to collect it.
And it's not just for one medication; it's
all your medications combined.
Yeah,
Yes,
right. Okay.
Everything combined is what reaches the $2,000. Now, if your medications are only going to cost $600 on the year, payment plan is not going to apply.
Right.
But they're trying to make it approachable for more people. It's called the M3P plan, Medicare Prescription Payment Plan. So, and amongst the things that we are discussing with you and learning from you is what's important to you. Because if we are making changes, we got to look at what are you giving up to move from A to B? What are you willing to give up to move from A to B? Does it make the situation better? And that's what we're trying to help you figure out. And we are navigating this, and we'll give you the amount of time that you need. We're not here to rush you through it. We'll give you the time you need, and multiple calls are always welcome. Repeated calls are always welcome. So we remind people, don't stress yourself out. Call us and let us relieve your stomach acids. We were joking. I said, we're better than Gelusil, but it's what we specialize in. And it is nice to have the opportunity to have that one-on-one relationship. And that's really what we enjoy tremendously. So again, 651-303-8889. It doesn't cost you anything. We don't charge you. The insurance companies pay us. We're not incentivized from one plan to another. I promise you. It's all about you.
That's right. That's right. Great talk there, Harvey. It's time for a short break, folks. We'll be right back to continue our conversation with the amazing Harvey Perle, principal of Perle and Company, a St. Paul, Minnesota-based insurance broker. And we'll be back to continue one more segment. So if you have a question for us, this is the time to give us a call, 952-946-6205, or text us at 612-999-3426. I'm Ken Haglind, and you are listening to Living Healthy and Aging Well.
Hi, I'm Mary T, inviting you to experience our integrative Mary T Health and Wellness Center, offering physical, occupational, speech, and lymphedema therapies. Experience our guided imagery, meditation, Tibetan medicine, dry needling, massage services, including cupping and oncology massage. Sign up for our free wellness screenings and learn more at marytwellness.com. All major health insurance providers are accepted. Come for therapy, experience wellness.
Overwhelmed trying to make sense of Medicare? As a licensed advisor, I can help you determine your healthcare needs and evaluate your options. I'm Harvey Perle of Perle and Company, and I want you to have the peace of mind knowing you have the best coverage available. You deserve an advocate you can trust and coverage you can rely on. And there's no fee, ever. Annual enrollment is October 15th through December 7th. Call me now at 651-303-8889 so we can strategize together.
Supporting the best local and independently owned restaurants in the Twin Cities has never been easier. You'll find an expansive list of local dining options at eatlocalminnesota.com, from classic American comfort food to authentic flavors from around the world. Specializing in Szechuan and Peking cuisine, the Great Wall Chinese restaurant has been a local favorite since 1981. They offer one of the most extensive menus in the Twin Cities. Favorites include the sesame chicken, imperial beef, and Peking duck. The Great Wall restaurant is located off 45th and France, with takeout available too. More at greatwallrestaurant.us. Nightingale on 26th and Lyndale is the ultimate venue for unforgettable gatherings. Whether big or small, your event will be a hit with delicious food and drinks served in a warm and inviting atmosphere. Plus, Chef Carrie's special creations add that extra touch. Craft cocktails, curated drinks, and a diverse menu make Nightingale perfect for any celebration. More at nightingalempls.com.
Hi, this is Laura. Listen to Food Freedom Radio every Saturday at 8 a.m. or anytime via podcast. Our individual health is connected to the health of each other and connected to the health of the earth. We know the problems with the dominant food system: climate change, deadening soils, nitrates in the water, factory farming, injustice, concentration of wealth. How do we both as individuals and as a community step up and support a living food system which honors the earth? Tune to Food Freedom Radio every Saturday at 8 a.m. and remember to support your independent farmers.
Hello, everyone. This is Becky McNatton
and Tara Martini,
hosts of Feels Out Loud, heard each Sunday at 9 a.m. on AM 950 Radio, where we talk about mental health, life, emotions, and strategies to help you honor your humanness.
Join us starting Sunday, January 26th, as we process through feeling out loud, what it means and looks like to share of ourselves with others, and the impact to us when we don't.
So grab your coffee, find a comfortable spot to relax, and tune in at 9 a.m. to live and share mental health with us together.
Welcome back, everyone. You are listening to Living Healthy and Aging Well, where we talk about helping you and your loved ones improve and enjoy your quality of life. My name is Ken Haglind, and joining me today is Harvey Perle, principal of Perle and Company, a St. Paul, Minnesota-based insurance broker, but he is covering and helping people in several states besides Minnesota. So I know this podcast or this radio show goes out to people all across the country. So it's not just limited to Minnesota people here. And Harvey will let you know which states he is also licensed in. And but today we're talking about the Medicare Advantage Part C open enrollment period that ends March 31st. And it's such an important time to reevaluate your needs. And Harvey is the right person to help you with that evaluation. If you have a question for us, give us a call, 952-946-6205, or text us at 612-999-3426. Harvey, how can our listeners contact you or your organization if they have questions and want more information?
You can call us at 651-303-8889.
All right. And last segment of the show. So what do we want to make sure that people understand before the show ends?
Well, let's explain or kind of review. This is complex, and Medicare has many rules. I liken it to the game of cribbage. My mother used to try to teach me cribbage, and I couldn't keep track of it because there was always a new rule. And she understood it tremendously, and I never got it. Medicare is like cribbage. But for some reason or other, I understand Medicare. I couldn't understand cribbage. Right. But because Medicare has many rules, and not all of them apply to you, but it's still natural to feel overwhelmed. And look, you're perfectly unique. Everything about you is unique, just like everybody else. So let's address your uniqueness and what makes you special, and let's tailor a solution that works for you. And for those who want to figure it out for themselves, that's fine, but your time matters. Your time is valuable. So let's save you some time and simplify this. I may have mentioned in a previous episode of ours, I saw a billboard once that said, if DIY equals OMG, you have a problem. So don't DIY this, folks. Please delegate this one, right?
Yeah.
So we were talking about HMOs and PPOs. So if you have a health maintenance organization, Medicare Advantage plan, that's the smallest circle of choices. You work with a primary care provider, and if you want to see a specialist in that smaller concentric circle of options, you have to get a referral. And the insurance plan will not pay for the specialist unless you got that referral from the primary care. That's a health maintenance organization. You may want to expand from that number of choices to a PPO, a preferred provider organization. It's a larger circle of choices. You don't need a referral, but you've got more choices to go to. Now, the premium may be higher in a PPO than an HMO, but maybe your health is going to change perhaps from year to year. You may need more resources. Mayo Clinic is down the street from us in the Twin Cities. Mayo Clinic is not always going to be in your Medicare Advantage network from year to year. And there was an article in the Star Tribune this fall specifically about Mayo Clinic. If that's an important resource to you, check and see, are they going to be in network for you in 2025? And if you think you might need them and you're not sure, let's discuss that. Let's do that research. And if need be, let's move you to a place that does include Mayo.
Okay, so with Medicare Advantage plans, how many different options are offered in each of the plans?
How high can you count?
Well, that's I thought that was the answer.
And to be less than silly, some plans have 3 options, some have 10 options.
Okay.
Each carrier has a different number of options.
But there's several carriers that
we
are.
represent now actually 11 carriers. We just graduated. Really? We added a new carrier this year. But
are they all admitted in Minnesota or throughout?
The 11 carriers in Minnesota, yep, they're here. And then in the other states, we have some. Actually, we're up to 14 carriers because, like Maryland has carriers like Care First that Minnesota doesn't have.
It's not admitted here. Oh, okay, got it.
They have Johns Hopkins. They have other options that So Medicare is federal, and yet it's very state run.
Right, because it's state licensed.
Right. So everything is very customizable. Now, here's a little tidbit for you. Let's say you live in the Twin Cities and you move out to Crow Wing County. Guess what? You are eligible for a new Medicare Advantage plan because the resources that are available in Crow Wing County are not the same resources available in the Twin Cities. So that's where it becomes very state-run or even county-run.
Yeah.
Right. So Medicare Advantage has a lot of built-in flexibilities that, based on what's going on in your life, we may have an opportunity to custom adjust to meet your needs.
Outside of the open enrollment period.
That's right.
That you move. Okay, got it.
That's a special enrollment period for
Okay.
a move. If you're losing your employer coverage you're retiring, that's another special enrollment period. And there's a laundry list of
qualifying events that.
Right.
That's why it's important to get a hold of you to even ask.
So we
what are
can
the
find
qualifying
out.
events.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And for those of you who are still working are in a group health insurance plan, stay there.
Yes.
You don't need to apply for Medicare yet. You're probably getting a much better deal with a subsidized premium from your employer than to enroll in Medicare, because Medicare comes with a Part B premium and other expenses and things like that. So we tell people there's no rush. You're not going to break the rules for not applying for Medicare unless you're in an individual plan.
Right.
Then you have deadlines. Yes. Then you have specific things that we have to do.
Yeah.
But in the states that we represent, Maryland, Georgia, Colorado, Arizona, and certainly Minnesota, each state has got its own uniqueness. The rules change. And that's our job to make sure that we're knowing what will then apply to you. So I'm reminding you folks, there is nothing wrong with you. There is absolutely nothing wrong with you. Why you don't understand this is not a defect. Which class in high school did you take that you flunked in Medicare that makes you inadequate to handle this? The course wasn't available. So you're not the only one listening today who doesn't understand all of what we've just reviewed. So you're not broken. You're normal. Welcome to normal. So agents and brokers like my agency, Perle and Company, we can't initiate the conversations. You've got to take this first step. So you don't know what you don't know. It's okay. Call us 651-303-8889. Visit our website at perleandcompany.com. And that's P as in Peter, E-R-L-E. There's no A in there, folks. So just 5 letters, P-E-R-L-E. No voicemail. Only humans answer our phones. No fee for our services. Open enrollment period, just if you haven't heard enough, January 1 to March 31. So don't miss it, this opportunity, and let's guide you to a better situation and more confidence.
Call Harvey Perle. All right, we're nearing the end of the show, folks. I want to thank Harvey Perle, principal of Perle and Company, for being here and talking to us about this very important topic.
Thank you, Ken, for doing what you do. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for what you do. All right, we hope you enjoyed today's show, folks. Please contact us with any questions or comments you have regarding today's conversation. Join us again next Saturday at noon for another broadcast. And thank you for listening to Living Healthy and Aging Well, where we talk about your health and your life. Until next time, choose to live well.
Hi, I'm Corey Wisco, president